Hey, welcome back, Sassy Soul Sisters and friends. I just thought I'd come on and share a couple of the things I got my mom for her birthday because I thought they were really neat. So, we actually come from a long line of Italian healing women, and because of certain circumstances, there's a lot of the information that didn't get passed down to my mother. And there are some things we do know, but there's a lot we don't. So I've just been trying to do research to learn some of these things. And in that research, I have found a couple things, and I ended up buying them for my mom. So the first thing I got, so also for some backstory here, my mom is a really amazing herbalist. She has an amazing green thumb and grows all her own herbs and uses them for healing. And so I ended up coming across something that's well known in Italy, not so well known over here. And it is called Centerba 72. And this is an alcohol, a liquor, but it's actually like a massive tincture on steroids. And I think it's funny. I wonder if this is an Italian thing. I don't know what it was called, but I have a memory of my grandparents having this massive, huge bottle of alcohol or liquor of some type growing up, and it was wrapped like this too. But I don't know if that means anything. So anyway, I have the print off that I was able to find because there's actually not a whole lot of information about this on the online period. But I did find a website here in the United States called pressimports.com, and they had actually written up an article about this. So I was able to print that off to give to my mom so she'd have some information. And so it is in the early 1800s, Benjamin Toro Sr., so that's where the Enrico Toro comes from, moved to Tocca da Caseria, a commune in Abruzzo in Italy. And he discovered a local herbal elixir that was dating back to the Benedictine friars who built the San Clement at Caseria Abbey in 1100. In 1817, Centerba Toro was born. This sophisticated liquor is made from the alchemy of wild and naturally grown herbs selected and picked by experts at the slopes of the Maiella Abruzzese mountain. He opened a pharmacy in the late 1800s and commercialized his prized Centerba, which was known as a homemade product until this time. Over time, the monasteries lost their notoriety, for the elixir remained a staple in the Caesarea community. Centerba largely rose to fame during the cholera epidemic of the late 19th century in Naples. It was said every evening there were well-supplied wagons of Centerba bottles heading for the Neapolitan capital. The herbs for this spirit are well known for their restorative and healing properties. Since then, Tocca da Caseria has been associated with Centerba, the perfect name derived from Centum Herbora, or in dialect, Cienterba. 1972 marked the year Enrico Toro and his father, Roberto, built a distillery to keep up with market demands of their ancestral herbal liquor, Centerba. Thus, the family rebranded Centerba Toro as Centerba 72. It's 140 proof, making it a provocative winter warmer for both head and belly. A 200-year-old secret formula that recalls the beauty of the green Abruzese Mountains. Centerba 72, produced by the father-son duo in 1972, has a variation of 2 elements compared to the originating Centerba Toro recipe. It is said to be superior to the original formula. The tasting notes: herbal aromas of oregano, thyme, and pine sap. Initial light mouthfeel, then a slightly hot and prickly assertion of spearmint. Peppermint and licorice combine with a tingling spice for a momentary flash. Pine needle fades into a long, dry, and spicy finish. Traditionally served as a digestif, excellent in cooking pasta or fish. Elevate risotto by adding 1/3 cup Centerba to the final cup of stock. Pairs well with coffee and bitter chocolate. This is sugar beet alcohol that has had 100 local herbs steeped in it, which is why I said it's like a giant tincture. And my mom loves her tincture, so that's why I was like, I have to get this for her. It's a giant tincture made with 100 local Italian herbs. My mom loves history. My mom loves Italian things. My mom loves herbs and tinctures. And also she has celiac, so she can't do grain. A lot of alcohol is grain alcohol, but this alcohol is sugar beet alcohol, so she can have it and it won't even bother her. So I just thought that was really cool to share, just so you guys can see. Here's a map, and here's the Abruzzo area. My family is from these two provinces up here. The majority of my family is, but now my family is spread, and there's family in central Italy as well. But that was really cool. My mom was super excited to get it. I don't know if you can tell, but it is green. It has a green hue to it. So there's that. And then the next thing I got was my mom actually remembers, her parents and her mother and grandmothers playing cards, but they were reading the cards, okay? But they were regular playing cards, so that way nobody else knew what was going on, which makes sense because a lot of what I've learned is that in the Italian tradition, healing and magic and all those types of things was passed down from mother to daughter, mother to daughter. The men usually didn't know what was going on. Not to say that there were no men, sometimes maybe if somebody only had a son, they did pass it down to their son, but just in general, it was passed down mother to daughter. And Mom remembers the women playing cards, but they were reading the cards, not playing a card game, but they were regular cards. But she was young at the time and didn't learn it. Well, I've since discovered that Italy has its own type of playing cards. So the playing cards were not what we know as playing cards here in the United States. Italy has their own kind of playing cards. For example, instead of going from each suit going from 1 to 10, it actually only goes from 1 to 7. And each province in Italy has their own deck of cards. So you use the deck of cards from your province. My mom's mother was from this province here, Lombardia or Lombarda. And my mom's mother's mom was from here, and my mom's father's mom was from Piedmonte. I was able to track down 2 decks of cards from Lombardia. And so I got one for my mom and one for myself, because my mom is also an amazing tarot card reader. She's loved the reading cards for a long time and is really good at it. As you all already know, I am new to reading cards. For whatever reason, it just wasn't something that I felt called to do. And because my mom was so amazing at it, if I needed a reading, I just went to her, right? But I have recently started getting into it and learning tarot. I do prefer Oracle just because there's a lot less to memorize there. But so anyway, I was able to track down 2 of the Italian playing card decks from Lombarda. And the company that makes them is Modiano, and they were 150-year anniversary cards. And then I do have some information. There's, again, like even on YouTube, there's no information hardly online, in English, I should say, teaching you to read the cards. So these things, the healing practices and all of that, were passed down mother to daughter, and it is very close mouth. In the Italian community, these things are very close-lipped. You don't share it with outsiders. If you don't learn from your family, then you probably won't learn. But as I said, there were some circumstances that stopped my mom from being able to continue to learn these things. And it's hard to find things in English. There is a little bit more information out there, but it's in Italian. So I've begun learning Italian so that I can try to learn more. But I do have some information here about how to read these cards. And, you know, they have the 4 suits, and you have 1 through, you know, ace through 7, and then you have a lady, a horseman, and a king. And you do still have cups, clubs, coins, and swords. Which, interestingly, is spada. But this is all the information that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. That's it. So, and these are read kind of like how, less like how, well, similar to tarot, but the meanings do not translate exactly from the Italian version to the United States version, because there are certain cards that traditionally in tarot mean one thing, but in the Italian form of it means the opposite. Also, the cards sound like they're read similar to Lenormand and Kipper, where each card is interpreted in relation to the adjacent card or cards in the spread. The reader studies the layout and then interprets the cards based on the entire picture. It takes a lot of practice and many readings to learn to read the patterns and their meanings. So, and I only have 4 pages of information, so I'm concerned about, you know, I would like to be able to find a little more info to help me learn this, but like, it would have been great if I could have found some YouTube videos, but I think there might be some in Italian. I just have to learn Italian. So here are the cards. Aren't they cute? Look at the size. I should have brought a tarot and an oracle deck in here to give you a size comparison, but they're small. They're thinner and taller, but still really small and cute. I love them. Here's the back. It says Modiano on it, which is the company that created them. And they have theirs laid out all aces, then all 2s. So this is how they look, you know, pretty similar to ours. And I'll show you the, here we go. So this is our horseman. And I just wanted to point out that the horseman is dressed the same in every picture, however, in every suit, but he's looking a different direction in every suit. So here are the 3 horsemen. Actually, he has a different outfit on here, but he's facing, you know, to the right slightly, all the way to the right with his back to us. And then this way towards the left with his back to us, and this way towards the left with his front towards us. You see that? And then here is our lady. And it's the same type of situation with her. And now her outfit is definitely different in all of them. So he is Fanta, and she is Regina. And this is Re, I think would be pronounced Re. Our king. And then we do have some cards here in Italian that teach us how to play some Italian card games that these types of cards are used for. Briscola, Scopa, and that's it. Briscola and Copa. Which I will learn to read once I learn to read Italian. However, there are videos online on YouTube of how to play these two games, just not how to read the cards in it the other way. So yeah, totally fun and exciting to get to learn, you know, some more traditional things that, you know, this has been around for hundreds of years, so it's highly possible my great-grandmothers used this or had it. And we know that they were playing cards. This was right when they came over from Italy. At the time that my mom, you know, saw this, they were recently here. So more than likely they brought their own cards with them that they used. Because in most Italian communities, you either read cards or you have a card reader that you go to. It's just a way of life over there. Unless you were very close to the, you know, Catholic Church. But even people who were outwardly Catholic still read cards or had a card reader. Like I said, unless you were very close to the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope and close to the Vatican in that area. But for a lot of Italy, it was normal. Card reading was normal, and it was frowned upon by the Pope, but other than that, it was a normal part of life. And so you either read cards or you had a card reader that you went to. Look at that. I'm so disappointed that they put a sticker directly on the box. I'm going to soak it with water and see if I can get it to come off without ruining the box with the water. I'm going to try. But yeah, so I just thought it was really neat to learn some things that more than likely, you know, my great-grandmothers and before them maybe used and did. And to be able to connect with that and connect to them through these things, to bring these things to my mother, who was just really excited to get these things, and then hopefully we can learn together how to read these cards. I have a feeling she's going to be much better at it than I am, but that's okay. That's one of her specialties. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Tell me what you think of these things down below, and if you know about any of these things, I would love to hear anything that you know and any information or tips you may have. I hope you all have a magical day. Bye.